Good morning from New York. Trump is creating insanely unhealthy, non-empathetic governance, the empathetic inner mind perspective. Trump's governance is a kakistocracy, ruled by the worst. A kakistocracy is a government ruled by the worst, least qualified, and most unscrupulous citizens. It's a society where power is concentrated in the hands of individuals who are often corrupt, incompetent, or both. In a kakistocracy, you might expect nepotism and cronyism. Positions of power are given to friends and family, regardless of their qualifications. Think about these things and think about Trump, okay? Corruption and bribery. Leaders use their positions for personal gain, often at the expense of the public good. Yeah? Lack of accountability. There are few checks and balances in this kind of government, and those in power are rarely held responsible for their actions. Trump, his Supreme Court said he's not responsible. Right. Economic decline. Mismanagement and corruption can lead to economic instability and hardship for the population. How many things that help the average worker, and especially the poor, is he going to attack? Social unrest. The population may become frustrated and disillusioned with the government, leading to protests and other forms of civil disobedience. The term kakistocracy is often used to describe governments that are seen as particularly bad or dysfunctional. However, it's important to note that no government is perfect, and even the best intentioned governments can make mistakes. Here are signs that someone may lack empathy: difficulty understanding others' feelings. They may struggle to recognize or comprehend the emotions of others, even in obvious situations. Lack of concern for others. They may seem indifferent to the pain, suffering, or joy of others. Trump, think about it. Self-centeredness. They prioritize their own needs and desires above those of others. Excessive criticism. They may be quick to criticize or judge others harshly and wrongly, in Trump's case. Insensitivity. They may say or do things that are hurtful or insensitive to others without realizing it. He made fun of a handicapped man. Really? Difficulty maintaining relationships. Due to their lack of empathy, they may struggle to form and maintain deep, meaningful relationships. How many marriages has this guy had? Lack of remorse or guilt. They may not feel remorse or guilt for their actions, even if they have hurt someone. Well, he's hurt a lot of subcontractors, refusing to pay them. He sees workers as slaves that he can just order around, who shouldn't be able to organize. He and Elon both look at things that way. Yeah, laughing, talking about getting rid of people's jobs when they legally refuse to work without a new agreement. Yeah, just good luck to the people on strike. Elon says, good luck, you won't have a job when you come back. That is illegal. But of course, in this kakistocracy of Trump, that isn't important, is it? Neither are workers. Any worker voting for Trump need to reflect deeply on that decision. It's important to note that everyone experiences a range. Creative, objective, and compassionate empathy are linked to artfulness, truth, and goodness, and these are healing for the mind and society. They experience a range of empathy. And creative, objective, and compassionate empathy are linked to artfulness, truth, and goodness. And these are healing for the mind and society. Okay. There's a beautiful synergy between creative, objective, and compassionate empathy, artfulness, truth, and goodness, and their potential for healing. Let's break down how they intertwine. Creative, objective, and compassionate empathy. Okay. Shared purpose. Both involve a desire to understand, connect, and make positive impact, whether it's through artistic expression or interpersonal relationships. Empathy is fuel. Empathy allows creators to tap into deeper emotions and perspectives, leading to more authentic and meaningful work. Healing power. When art and empathy combine, they can offer solace, understanding, and a sense of shared humanity. Artfulness, truth, and goodness. Authenticity. Artful expression rooted in truth and goodness resonates deeply as it speaks to universal human experiences. Emotional resonance. Art that evokes genuine emotions can be cathartic for both the creator and the audience. Moral compass. Art that embodies goodness can inspire positive change and promote empathy within society. Healing for mind and society. Individual healing, engaging with art, can provide emotional release, self-reflection, and a sense of connection. Social healing. Art can foster empathy, understanding, and dialogue, leading to greater social cohesion. Mental well-being. Creative expression and appreciation of art have been linked to reduced stress, improved mood, and enhanced cognitive function. In essence, when creative objectives are fueled by compassionate empathy, and artfulness is guided by truth and goodness, the result is a powerful force for healing. It's a reminder that art and human connection are essential for our individual and collective well-being. Empathy is a core value in progressive politics. Progressives often advocate for policies that aim to address the needs and concerns of marginalized groups such as the poor, the elderly, and minorities. This focus on social justice and equality is often rooted in an understanding of the experiences of others and a desire to alleviate suffering. Some examples of how empathy is reflected in progressive politics include support for social welfare programs. Progressives often support programs like food stamps, Medicaid, and affordable housing, which aim to provide a safety net for those in need. Advocacy for health care reform. Progressives often support universal health care coverage, arguing that everyone deserves access to quality health care, regardless of their income or employment status. Support for environmental protection. Progressives often advocate for policies that protect the environment and address climate change, recognizing the impact of these issues on future generations. Support for immigration reform. Progressives often advocate for comprehensive immigration reform that provides a pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants, recognizing the contributions of immigrants to society. Huge contributions. You wouldn't have breakfast in the morning if it weren't for undocumented immigrants working the fields. And what's pathetic there is that we don't give them a green card so that their labor doesn't get rewarded the way other trading partners called workers do here. I mean, that's a kind of slavery sort. You know, it's wrong. However, it's important to note that empathy is not always a straightforward concept in politics. Some argue that empathy can sometimes be used to justify policies that are ultimately harmful, such as those that focus on helping individuals rather than addressing systemic issues. Well, you know, it's the synergy, it's the broad perspective of empathy that never goes wrong. It takes into account, climate change, which addressing that might mean some sacrifices on the part of individuals in order to achieve that. In war, sometimes, many times, people make sacrifices to help defend their country. But that's nothing wrong with empathy. It's just an expansive empathy that includes the use of objectivity, creativity, and compassion in connection with that empathy. That's what makes them all better, the synergy between these things. It isn't objective empathy if you destroy the human race to satisfy individuals who want to drive polluting cars. You know. However, it's important to note that empathy is not always straightforward. True indeed. Having empathy for Trump, well, as a sick person, we can have empathy for Trump. But we can't have a kind of empathy for him that permits him to harm others. You got to stand up against that which is not empathetic. You know, and that's not a lack of empathy. That's objective empathy. Overall, empathy is a complex and nuanced concept that plays a significant role in progressive politics. While it is often seen as a positive force, it is important to consider the potential pitfalls and limitations of empathy in the political sphere. Ah, that research. Off. Again, expansive empathy that uses objective, creative, and compassionate forms working together never goes wrong. It can't go wrong. It promotes virtues of truth, goodness, and artfulness. There's nothing wrong with those things. We need more of it. Of course, you could say that the truth is not always the best thing. If you're in the back in the Nazi days and you're protecting people in your basement, you don't tell the Nazis the truth that oh well, here they are. You're right. I'm hiding them there in the basement. You don't do. But that's the synergy. That's moving, looking at all of these perspectives of objective, creative, and compassionate empathy that working together that allow us to handle such nuances. All right. Well, active listening, but overall, truth is still important. And where there's enough love going on, it's always good. Active listening. Encourage open communication channels and actively listen to the concerns and perspectives of citizens, especially those from marginalized communities. LGBTQ, women. Hard to say that, how can people marginalize their mothers, their sisters, and the girlfriends, their wives? How can you do that? That's wrong. And just like the Stockholm syndrome, you'll see women who do that to themselves. And that happens in every oppressed group. There are a few who begin to agree with their own oppression. I know, crazy, right? Well, they need some compassion and they need some empathy for themselves. Empathetic inner mind communication could fix that. Community engagement. Regularly engage with communities to understand their needs and challenges firsthand. This can be done through town hall meetings, surveys, or focus groups. Diverse representation. Ensure diverse representation within government bodies to bring different perspectives and experiences to decision making. That's creative empathy, and so where are the women in government? They're over half the population, and they don't have a voice in government. We need to fix that. We definitely need to fix that. It's a sick country that doesn't, and that may be a lot of countries that doesn't provide that equality for women. Empathy training. Provide training for government officials to develop their empathy skills and understand the impact of policies on people's lives. Empathy can be learned, and it should be classes in it in all of our public schools, every grade level. Absolutely. colleges too, really. They would do it. Empathy training, you could refer to them as college kids, remember? And then we send them to war. Humanity's got a lot of growing to do in terms of empathy. Anyway, data-driven decision making. Use data to understand the social and economic impacts of policies, but also consider the qualitative experiences of individuals. Compassionate leadership. Leaders should lead with empathy, demonstrating understanding and compassion for the challenges faced by citizens. By practicing empathy, government officials can create policies that are more equitable, effective, and responsive to the needs of people they serve. Communicating empathy within the mind is catalytic to social progress and progressive politics. This statement resonates with the core principles of progressive politics and the importance of empathy in driving social change. Here's why. Understanding diverse perspectives. Empathy allows us to step into the shoes of others, understanding their experiences, challenges, and aspirations. This understanding is crucial for building bridges across social divides and creating inclusive policies that address the needs of all individuals. Fostering compassion. Empathy cultivates compassion, a crucial element in social progress. When we empathize with others, we develop a sense of shared humanity, fostering a sense of responsibility and care for the well-being of others. Identifying systemic injustices. Empathy helps us recognize the root causes of social problems, such as inequality, discrimination, and poverty. By understanding the lived experiences of marginalized groups, we can identify and challenge the systems that perpetuate injustice. Mobilizing action. Empathy can be a powerful motivator for social change. When we feel a sense of connection with others, we're more likely to take action to address their needs and advocate for their rights. Building stronger communities. Empathy strengthens social bonds and fosters a sense of community. When we empathize with our neighbors, we are more likely to work together to solve problems and create a more just and equitable society. In conclusion, communicating empathy within the mind is a catalytic force for social progress and progressive politics. By cultivating empathy, we can bridge divides, challenge injustice, and build a more compassionate and equitable world. Yeah. Practicing empathy is helpful to mental health. Absolutely true. Practicing empathy is incredibly beneficial for mental health, and here's why. Oh, me. Reduce stress and anxiety. When we empathize with others, we develop a better understanding of their perspectives and experiences. This can help reduce feelings of isolation and judgment, which are common triggers for stress and anxiety. Improved relationships. Empathy fosters stronger connections with others. When we genuinely listen and understand the feelings of those around us, we build trust and deepen our relationships. Enhanced self-awareness. By practicing empathy, we become more attuned to our own emotions and needs. This self-awareness can help us manage our emotions effectively and make healthier choices. Increased resilience. Empathy can help us develop resilience by allowing us to see challenges from different perspectives. This can help us find solutions and cope with difficulties in a more positive way. Boosted mood. Empathy can trigger the release of oxytocin, a hormone associated with feelings of love, trust, and bonding. This can lead to improved mood and overall well-being. To practice empathy, try these steps. Creative, objective, and compassionate empathy are linked to truth, artfulness, and goodness, and these are healing for the mind and society. Well, that's a great tip. There's a beautiful synergy between creative, objective, compassionate empathy. Artfulness, truth, and goodness, and their potential for healing. Let's break down how they intertwine. Creative, objective, and compassionate empathy. Shared purpose. Both involve a desire to understand, connect, and make a positive impact, whether it's through artistic expression or interpersonal relationships. Empathy is fuel. Empathy allows creators to tap into deeper emotions and perspectives, leading to more authentic and meaningful work. Healing power. When art and empathy combine, they can offer solace, understanding, and a sense of shared humanity. Considering artfulness, truth, and goodness. Authenticity. Artful expressions rooted in truth and goodness resonates deeply as it speaks to universal human experiences. Human resonance. Art that evokes genuine emotions can be cathartic for both the creator and the audience. Moral compass. Art that embodies goodness can inspire positive change and promote empathy within society. Healing for mind and society. Individual healing. Engaging with art can provide emotional release, self-reflection, and a sense of connection. Social healing. Art can foster empathy, understanding, and dialogue, leading to greater social cohesion. Mental well-being, creative expression, and appreciation of art have been linked to reduced stress, improved mood, and enhanced cognitive function. In essence, when creative objectives are fueled by compassionate empathy, and artfulness is guided by truth and goodness, the result is a powerful force for healing. It's a reminder that art and human connection are essential for our individual and collective well-being. Active listening. Give your full attention to the speaker. Maintain eye contact and avoid interrupting. Perspective taking. Try to see things from the other person's point of view, even if you disagree. Validate feelings. Acknowledge and validate the other person's emotions, even if you don't understand them fully. Offer support. Offer words of encouragement or practical help if appropriate. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. And remember that everyone makes mistakes. By incorporating empathy into your daily life, you can significantly improve your mental health and well-being. Creative, objective, and compassionate empathy are linked to artfulness, truth, and goodness, and then these are healing for the mind and society. There's a beautiful synergy between creative, objective, and compassionate empathy, artfulness, truth, and goodness, and their potential for healing. Let's break down how they intertwine. Let's repeat this. Creative, objective, and compassionate empathy. Again, shared purpose, empathy as fuel, healing power. Artfulness, truth, and goodness, authenticity, emotional resonance, and moral compass. There are roles in empathetic inner mind communication. And these roles are the inner artist, which helps us with creative empathy, our inner counselor, which helps us with objective empathy, the inner caregiver, which helps us with compassionate empathy. And all of these communicate to the role we play as the dramatic, experiencing kid in ourselves, which I call the kid role. All of these things benefit the kid in you. And the kid grows in trust. And where there's trust, there's this great, wise trust. There's this greater ability to love and be loved, which is the true freedom of the soul, the person. And so the mystic in you is the part of you that does the inner mind communication and makes the decision to do practice these roles in our communications. And it is a powerful thing within you. The mystic in you, controlled dreams. You can see that. That's a kind of inner speak, inner mind communication. because it includes this awareness and perspective. And also how you speak to yourself. Be sure to love yourself. It's hard to love others if you don't love you. And until we meet again, may you find that empathy, that wonder that's you. And rise to be the hero of love in the story, the movie of your life. Wishing you all the best, and hoping for better and better days. Take care and subscribe to the channel. Join our team. You may be much better at this than I am, and we welcome you to try. Let's make a hug that goes around the world. It's time for humanity to know that it's one family. Until next time, yeah, keep looking up. To the wonder that's you.